Hi again, everybody. This is a quick video to go over the speed problems that you had during week 2 of virtual science. So these are the speed notes, and you had these here for homework. So I'm going to go over these. We're going to start with the first one, and we actually did the first 3 together in class. I will go over them nonetheless. So for number 1, a bullet travels at 5,000 feet for 4 seconds. What's the speed? So we use our speed formula, which is distance divided by time. We have 5,000 feet in 4 seconds. So that's 1,250 feet per second. Remember to always show your work here and to show your answer with the units. Number 2, an airplane travels at 600 miles in 2.5 hours. What is the speed of the plane? So again, speed is equal to 600 divided by 2.5, which is 240 miles per hour. So again, our answer with our units. So basically this tells us that every hour the plane travels 240 miles. That's what it's essentially telling us. Number 3, a toy car rolls down a ramp covering 2 meters in 4 seconds. And again, what is its speed? So speed is equal to the distance divided by the time 4. So we have 0.5 meters per second. Number 4, Ariana covers a distance of 100 kilometers with her bike at 25 kilometers an hour. How much time did it take her to cover that distance? So here we have a slightly different problem. Here we're given the distance, we are given the speed, and we want to find the time it takes her to cover that distance. So we're still using the same formula, and we're going to plug in the values that we have. We have the speed, it's at 25. We have the distance, but we don't have the time. So we're going to call that x. So then we're basically solving for x. So it's 25, x is equal to 100, and x is equal to 4. And since it's time, our unit is going to be hours, since we're looking at hours here. Okay. Now, if you're having trouble with the algebra here to solve for x, you can just pop me an email, and I can go over that with you if we can meet during a Google Hangout or a Google Meet. Okay. Number 5, Alex drove 150 kilometers in 3 hours. He stopped for 30 minutes for lunch and gas. After lunch, he traveled another 100 kilometers in an hour and a half. So what was his average speed? So again, average speed is total distance divided by the total amount of time. And so what we'd have to do here is add the distance he traveled, the total amount, so that's 250, and divide by the total amount of time it took him to cover those 250 kilometers. Now, in this question, it's kind of my fault because I didn't specify if you would calculate the time also that he had rested. Okay, we're going to assume we're going to count that in. Now, if you divide it here by 4.5, that's fine, but I'm going to total it up to 5. So 3 hours plus the hour and a half, that's 4.5, plus the 30 minutes, that's 5 hours. Okay, which will give us a nice round answer of 50 kilometers an hour. Now again, if you divide it by 4 here, 4.5, sorry, then that's fine. You would have gotten a slightly different answer. But again, that's fine. Okay, the issue here was that I didn't specify it properly. Okay, if we look at number 6 here, a family travels at 120 kilometers on their road trip to Kalamata, and it takes them, excuse me for a second, it takes them 5 hours to get to their destination. What distance do they cover? So same type of problem. We're going to use our same formula. So this time we have the speed, it's 120. We don't have the distance, that's our x, and we have the time, which is 5 hours. So here we're just going to do x is equal to 600, and it's distance, so we're looking at kilometers, because we had kilometers per hour here. Okay, and the last one, the Earth travels at 68,000 miles per hour as it moves around the sun. How many miles does it take the Earth to travel in one trip around the sun? So really we're looking at distance here. Now something that's missing here is that we have the speed. Something is missing about the time here. Now it tells us that it's one trip around the sun. One trip around the sun is 365 days. Okay, so we have to basically put this into hours. So if we do 365 days times 24 gives us 8,760 hours. Okay, so we've just transferred this. We've just come up with our time. We know our time, it's 365 days, but we need to convert that into hours. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and say 68,000 is equal to x over the time, which is 8,760. And in this case, x is equal to some really long number here. So it's 595,680,000 miles. Okay, so this problem was, again, the same. We're using the same formula. We have to find the time, we have to find the distance, excuse me, and the only extra added step we had here is that we weren't given the full amount of information about the time. We know that it's 365 days, but we had to convert that into hours. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know if I can help in any other way.